album review from the legend that is Ralph Mctell, who I saw his farewell tour at the Street Theatre on Thursday night, where I usually usher at, but I went as a normal patron that night, and there was merch being sold. And during the second act at the interval, Ralph Mctell basically said during the second act that it was obviously his farewell tour and that he was going to come out and say a quick hi to the crowd. And he made a bit of a joke during the second part of the concert, which I'll do a review of later at some point in the next couple of days, hopefully. And he made the joke of that the pubs will close early, which I thought was pretty funny. And yeah, the concert was great. But I'm going to be reviewing firstly his album that I listened to earlier today. I listened to an old school album of his and a few other songs. For example, I listened to a song called Kenny the Kangaroo earlier, which is not off this album, but it's off another album. But I will be mainly talking about songs from this album. And yes, I did listen to Tequila Sunset earlier, and of course, the song that he ended the concert with at the Street Theatre the other night, which was, of course, the classic song Streets of London. And I'll be talking about in this review the CD that he signed for me in his farewell tour when I got to meet the legend Ralph Mctell the other night, which is this album of Hill of Beans, which is this album here with the front cover here. And the back cover has the songs Oxbow Lakes, Brighton Bell, Clearwater, Gertrude and Alice, Gameldansk, Shed Song, Close Shave, When They Were Young, Sometimes I Wish I Could Pray, Hill of Beans, and West 4th Street and Jones. So they're the songs on the album. So 11 tracks, which those 11 tracks on the album, so good. I absolutely loved every single song on the album. I thought was just amazing. Like, it was fantastic. There was not a song on the album that I did not like. I enjoyed every single track from start to finish, like I did on the Down the Road album that I listened to on Spotify earlier. And yes, I will re-show you, like I did in my current listening live video before, his signature again. In case you hadn't watched that video, with his happy smiley face on the album, where he signed it in black writing, For Adam, Best Wishes, signed by Ralph Mctell, and his CD there, which is the Hill of Beans album. And I loved every single song on the album. There was obviously, I did have a fair few favorite songs now that I've heard the album by Ralph Mctell of Hill of Beans. Obviously, Hill of Beans is one of my favorite songs now by Ralph Mctell. And of course, West 4th Street and Jones is great. The opening song, Oxbow Lakes, OMG, that song is just phenomenal. Brighton Bell, absolutely love Clearwater. Gertrude and Alice, oh my god. Shed Song, Close Shave, When They Were Young, so good. Dameldansk, so good. Shed Song, wow. Every single song on the album, Sometimes I Wish I Could Pray, West 4th Street and Jones, every single song was just phenomenal. And I couldn't pick a particular song and go, that one is great, or this song is not as good as the others. I thought every single song on the album was phenomenal. Just like some of the other old school albums by Ralph Mctell, fantastic. I love not only these music from like the late 60s and the 70s, but even his his earlier music from like the late 60s and the 70s, great. Even this album, which I think came out in, 2019 or whenever it came out, even this album of Hill of Beans by the English songwriter Ralph Mctell is just a phenomenal album. If you haven't checked out the album Hill of Beans yet by Ralph Mctell, you definitely should. You should definitely check out even his albums with Tequila Sunset and even his albums with Nettle Wine, Clown, I've not heard it as many times, but rehearing it after seeing it performed live, the song Clown, which is obviously on a different album to the album Hill of Beans. I just thought I'd mention some of the songs that he did perform live. Clown was great. Kenny the Kangaroo was great. Obviously, his signature song that he ended with, of course, Streets of London. I would have loved if he did Nettle Wine, Tequila Sunset, Zimmerman Blues, but he still did a phenomenal job, and every single song on the album Hill of Beans was great. I can't nitpick any certain tracks. I just enjoyed listening to the album, just like I enjoyed listening to Down the Road earlier, and certain tracks from other old school albums with a much younger Ralph Mctell, because this album, he's obviously a lot older when he made this album, and you can hear it in the way he sings from Hill of Beans as well. He's still got a great voice, and he can still perform live so damn well. Obviously, it was sad that it was his farewell tour that I went to. Like, I would have loved to see him perform maybe 3 more times before a farewell tour. Like, if he decided to come back and perform again, I would go to his concert happily again. And in saying that, he's still a great artist, and I have so many great memories to make, not only with re-listening to the songs that I fell in love with. Now, if you're wondering how I know about Ralph Mctell, street theatre and ushering, and, well, I didn't usher for that particular gig. I went, like I said, as a patron, because I didn't see any performance to select to usher for it. So I got myself a ticket and went, myself and I, to the concert. And I'm glad I did, particularly since it was his farewell tour. And buying the Hills of Bean albums and getting him to sign it was great. He was, like I said, a lovely human being. And I can't say anything bad about the Hill of Beans album at all. I think it is just terrific. And in saying that, I'm going to be ending my review on the album by Ralph Mctell of Hill of Beans, which I highly suggest you buy this album, and I highly suggest you buy all his other albums too. And in saying that, I'm going to be giving the album by Ralph Mctell, Hill of Beans, a massive 15 out of 10 star rating. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye for now. I really couldn't be bothered reading comments today, and I will tell you in the next video. Bye for now.